Um, so quartz. Quartz, when it's yellow, you call it citrine, and when it's purple, you call it amethyst, and when it's colorless, like this, you call it rock crystal. And the full name is rock crystal quartz. So there's very little to differentiate between these three colors. It's just the way that the colors end up when it forms in the earth. But this is the pure one, right? It doesn't have anything extra in it. It's just straight up quartz. So really good rock crystal is completely clean with very little veining and very little fogginess. And that's what you're going to see in something like this. This is a piece by David Webb. And these are pieces, I love these earrings. These are by Seaman Sheps, and they have a really cool like black calibre around the earring with a little pop of diamonds in the middle. What's the deal with rock crystal? Why do you rarely see it just naked? It is because it goes dead when it doesn't have anything going on. So I'm going to show you something. Many moons ago, I learned how to facet stones. Not well, but just enough to have empathy for the cutters and what they do. But I faceted this little rock crystal, I guess about 30 years ago now, close to anyway. And it really gives you an idea about how if this was a diamond, it'd be full of fire. But because it's rock crystal, it's really nothing special. It's just kind of dead. And yes, it's faceted, and it was faceted properly, thank you very much. But it doesn't really do much. It's just a kind of cool pendant. It could be glass, it could be anything. But if it was a diamond, we would know it'd be full of sparkle and full of dispersion and fire and all that kind of good stuff. So when you talk about rock crystal, it usually has some kind of technique to it to make it look like something instead of just glass. It's a lot harder than glass. It's more special than glass, but it faceted, it just doesn't do very much. So like these are my earrings, and they're grooved. So this like really shows up against my hair. This is a pomellato ring, and it's a rock crystal cap with chrysoprase underneath. And sometimes they do those little tricks to kind of enhance the color and bring out extra sparkle. They'll make a doublet and double it up with something else that's cool. Like I said, this is David Webb. David Webb built it on a metal or a platinum base, carved it in this huge dome, and then inlaid it with diamonds. But again, that's a huge hunk of rock crystal. It's kind of like a crystal ball, you know. These earrings, like I said, have the black calibre, but again, if they didn't have it, it would just kind of look dead. But with the enhancements, it becomes this really wearable type of thing where it isn't over the top dressy, but it needs a little bit of love, it needs a little bit of help. But then when it gets that help, it becomes a really wearable piece of jewelry. So, and then this is my favorite piece. I love this. This is by Trianon. You can see the tag through it, but it's translucent, but they frosted it. Why would they frost it? Well, it's because when you put on something like this, you don't want to see your arm through it, right? Or if you do, it wants to be like a sheer blouse or something. It doesn't want to be like that's clear. So it's frosted, and then they inlaid all these diamonds and sapphires into it. So it's kind of like if you really like to have, you know, toast with butter on it or something. Really, let's be honest, all we really want is to eat the butter straight. So this is kind of like the rock crystal is the toast, right? So that you can get the butter, which is the sapphire and diamonds on your wrist. I don't know if that makes any sense.